Hi, and welcome to Neville Goddard's teachings. I am your host, Ramesh, and in this podcast, I'm going to have a really small summary of Chapter 5 of At Your Command. This is the second to last chapter, so it will be quite short. Next time, we're going to go through the whole chapter and I'm going to read it. So I have my laptop in front of me with my notes. So let's see. The first thing that I wanted to mention is that Neville actually mentions something about you being the vine and the branches is everything you are conscious of. So everything where your attention actually goes to here and there. So to speak, your material world or your 3D world. Now when the vine has the sap goes to the branches. Now if you cut off the vine, the sap will not go to the branches and they will slowly wither and die. And it will not have any form of life anymore, so to speak. So, what he says here, let me check my notes. It symbolizes that you simply need to turn away from your problems so that those problems, those branches, will slowly break off and die and disappear. So you turn away your attention, cut off the sap, so the sap will not be able to go to the branches, so they will not receive any more life. Let's see. So always think of a solution instead of keeping your mind focused on the problems you have. That's what it means. And he says the problem will slowly fade away. Makes sense? Let's go to the next point. So this is important. I'm going to read my notes, so if I don't look straight into the camera, my apologies. So no matter what your senses tell you and what you hear and see, turn your attention away and imagine the solution and use your senses there in that imaginal act until it feels so real that it might even shock you. Yes, this is what I wrote. So, what you need to do is to close your eyes and imagine a solution. If you have a problem, just think of what would happen, what would take place if the solution already occurred, it already happened. What would it be like? And then use all your senses. For instance, you can try to visualize. If you can't, use your ears, you touch, smell, taste, if there is any. That's how you use your senses in your imaginal act. Let's go to the next point. Whoops, a laptop just the screen. So, the moment you start to realize that you are what you want to be or have, and claim this in assuming, then you will definitely receive a proof of whatever you claimed. So, the moment you imagine and you feel it as a reality, that is when you will receive signs, because signs will always follow a successful imaginal act. That's what Neville tries to tell here. Let's go to the next point. So yeah, he also talks a little bit more of the I am and how you can use it to claim what you want. I think we discussed it in the previous chapter, the I am meditation. So check the other podcast for that one. Let's continue. He says that no manifestation will come to you and appear in your world unless the Father within you, meaning your imagination, is used to draw it towards you. So this means that if you do not use your imagination, there will be no manifestations. Now, just be aware that this was Neville's first book. He just started writing about the law. I'm sure that in further books there's a lot of different techniques, but this is the beginner's book. These are the basics. He's just teaching us the fundamentals. Just start easy, start with your imagination. This is what I believe. Let's continue with my notes. Whoops, my screen. The last one. So remember, whatever situation you're in, you must remember that you did this yourself. And this also means that you can get out of it and become a better version of yourself. So what he says is that everything that happens to you is actually caused by you, which is kind of weird, and I can understand how it may shock you or confuse you, but it's no use to think about that and to dwell on it, because he says the good news is that you can also use this to your advantage to make things better. And that's what we should look forward to. And this is where the notes actually end. So these were actually the most important points I wanted to give you in this chapter. And next time I'm going to read chapter 5, and we're going to go through the whole chapter, and I will go a little bit more into depth. So yeah, thank you for listening, and well, let us go into the silence.